Liv wants to do.
Cover again by Liv.
Pick up the pace.
Liv Morgan injured after Bianca Belair whips the WWE champion in brutal attack. Liv Morgan kicked off the action against Naomi in the Women's Elimination Chamber match in Toronto, but things turned around when Jade Cargill made a blockbuster return to WWE. While Naomi was taken out of the match following Cargill's attack, the other competitors tore the battlefield apart with their hard-hitting action. Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair traded a lot of blows during the match, considering their incredible recent tag team rivalry that has been a massive entertainer over the past few weeks. During the bout, the EST of WWE used her hair to whip Morgan, and the latter ended up one half of the women's tag team champions had a visible bruise following the hair whip from Belair, which Pat MCAfee later dubbed as the loudest whip in history. With Bianca Belair's victory, it seems like her rivalry with Liv Morgan is seemingly over. However, considering the action both women engaged in the past few weeks for their tag team rivalry, their feud could resume any time to keep the WWE Universe engaged. While Bianca Belair has a Wrestlemania 41 path of her own, it seems like Morgan will have her hands full with the women's tag team title. Only time will tell what WWE has in store for the former women's world champion at Wrestlemania 41. Liv Morgan to break up with Dominic Mysterio for one big reason after Elimination Chamber. Potential WWE booking Exploredliv Morgan lost the 2025 Women's Elimination Chamber match bout and failed to secure her Wrestlemania 41 spot. Bianca Belair pinned the Miracle Kid to earn a shot at the women's world title. The 30-year-old superstar might now hold her boyfriend, Dominic Mysterio, responsible for her loss, leading to their breakup. Dominic Mysterio was not at ringside, like always, with his Gürtita for the Women's Elimination Chamber match. On the latest episode of Raw, Dirty Dom's presence earned Liv Morgan a big win over Naomi and Belair, and the same could have happened tonight if Dominic had shown up during the chamber bout. In a shocking twist, Liv Morgan could blame Dirty Dom for her loss inside the chamber, as he wasn't there to watch her back. She could ultimately part ways with the former tag team champion, creating an intriguing storyline before WrestleMania 41. The Stanford-based promotion has been planting the seeds for the Judgment Day's breakup for a while now. Dominic being ditched by his girlfriend and kicked out of his heel faction can allow him to focus on his singles career. That said, the above-mentioned is hypothetical at this point, and nothing has been confirmed. When Liv Morgan talked about having kids with Dominic Mysterio, while speculating about Morgan and Dominic's potential breakup, fans must not forget they are presently the most prominent couple in the Stanford-based promotion. Last year, while in character, the Miracle Kid spoke to Cheap Heat's Peter Rosenberg about whether she planned to have kids with Dirty Dom. Morgan revealed she and Dominic were taking things slowly and added it would be adorable to have a house full of little dirty Doms. That we are taking it slow, but how cute is a house of little dirty Doms, right? I think right now, the world is our oyster, and we are ready to take over. And so, we're excited just for life and for what's to come after I finally put an end to Rhea Ripley and after Finn Palor finally puts an end to Damian Priest, Morgan said. With the showcase of the Immortals on the horizon, it will be interesting to see what Triple H has in store for the heel couple. Liv Morgan teases using WWE Legends' finishing move at Elimination Chamber 2025. Liv Morgan was undoubtedly the star of the Women's Elimination Chamber match despite coming short and getting pinned at the hands of Bianca Belair. However, there was one crucial moment when she continued to tease using a WWE Legends finishing move. Liv Morgan was seemingly everywhere in the Women's Elimination Chamber match, starting at first and lasting all the way until the end before falling short in an incredible sequence to Bianca Belair. She was also confirmed not to be the attacker of Jade Cargill, as the latter returned and took Naomi out. Perhaps due to the influence from her on-screen partner, Dominic Mysterio, she continued to tease using Ray Mysterio's iconic 619 finisher. A sequence saw her use Eddie Guerrero's Three Amigos before nearly hitting the 619. Alexa Bliss halted her in her tracks. This might be the only thing that fans are mad at Alexa Bliss about. She, too, had a stellar performance inside the Elimination Chamber, taking out the main roster newcomer Roxann Perez. It's going to be interesting to see what the road to Wrestlemania looks like for a lot of the women. For Liv Morgan, it's most likely going to be in a defense of the Women's Tag Team Championship. Her pursuit of the Women's World title may have officially ended after nearly a year. WWE superstar Liv Morgan, WH. Liv Morgan WWE injury update following RW between the two Tiffany and Rhea. I think I'd rather see Rhea because she and Rhea had such an incredible match 2 years ago. They haven't had a match like that in women's division that I've seen on TV anywhere. Rhea won the match, but it was the best match on the show. It was incredible. Following a bloody match on WWE Monday Night Raw, a new report has revealed an injury update on Liv Morgan. On the February 10th edition of WWE Raw, damaged CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. During the course of the bout, Morgan suffered an apparent injury where she came up bleeding after a knee from Sky. Later in the program, Morgan was sporting a big bruise on her face during a backstage segment after the tag team bout. Fightful Select, subscription required, provided an update, noting that word backstage was Liv Morgan appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. The report reads, Liv Morgan got busted open by a knee, but word backstage was that she appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. Morgan will face Bianca Belair, Bayley, and 3 other participants in the Women's Elimination Chamber match at the titular event on March 1st. Kairi Sane sends a message to Liv Morgan. WWE star shares brutal fallout of serious injury. WWE superstar Kairi Sane recently took to social media to send a message to former Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. The Judgment Day star suffered a brutal injury on this week's Monday Night Raw during the latest episode of the Red Brand. Liv Morgan teamed up with Raquel Rodriguez to face damage CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. All of the women involved in the bout put on an amazing display, but the match ultimately ended in Sky and Kai's favor. However, during the bout, Morgan suffered a brutal injury near her eye and started bleeding heavily. Following the show, the Judgment Day star had to get several stitches to close up her wound. She recently took to X/Twitter to show off her injury. This post caught Kairi Sane's attention, and she uploaded a photo of a similar eye injury that she had suffered in September last year while competing against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. The Damage Control member also sent a message to Morgan with several emojis. Former WWE writer reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal injury on Raw. During a recent edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, former WWE writer Vince Russo reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal eye injury, saying that he believed she was extremely tough for a person of her stature. Did you see that nasty gash on Liv Morgan's eye, man? Wow, she is tough. I gotta give you that, man. That was a nasty gash on her eye. Did you see how that happened, Chris? I wasn't watching closely enough. I mean, she had like a boxer's cut. I mean, wow. She is tough, man. Liv Morgan is tough for a girl her size, and that was nasty. Liv Morgan has qualified for this year's Women's Elimination Chamber match. It will be interesting to see what WWE has planned for the Judgment Day star's future. Liv Morgan smiles through the pain after suffering a nasty cut on WWE Raw. It was a rough night for Liv Morgan Monday on Raw, who suffered both insult and injury. In a tag team match pitting her and Raquel Rodriguez against Io Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control, Morgan was pinned by Sky. But before that, she suffered a gnarly cut just over her right eye during the final minutes of the match. Rodriguez and Morgan paired up for some unique tandem offense. Rodriguez scooped Morgan up as if she was going to powerbomb her. Instead, she used Morgan as a weapon, swinging her body into the ribs of Sky, then Kai. Morgan's injury appeared to occur right after she collided with Sky. However, she started holding her face after hitting Dakota later. After Morgan blasted Kai with Oblivion, Sky plowed through her with a running knee lift. That incapacitated Morgan for several moments, who was briefly checked on by the referee. Ultimately, Sky put Morgan down for the 3 count with her signature moonsault, despite the grisly nature of her injury. Morgan was all smiles afterward. Io, you could never make me ugly.